1. We're looking at an absolutely stunning 1968 Chevy C10 that just popped up on Craigslist. And let me tell you, this isn't your average classic truck. This C10 has undergone a complete frame-off restoration, and you can really tell the owner poured their heart and soul into it. We're talking about a beautifully built 327 V8 paired with a freshly rebuilt 400 transmission. And the whole package sits perfectly on those massive 22-inch wheels with an 8-inch drop. The stance is just killer. What really catches my eye is the attention to detail. They've gone for this murdered-out look with custom flush-mounted glass, black billet aluminum door handles from Vintage Air, and they've even cleaned up the body by removing all marker lights. The craftsmanship here is seriously impressive, folks. The upgrades aren't just cosmetic either. We're looking at a disc brake conversion, custom Flowmaster dual exhaust, and they've cleverly relocated the gas tank under the bed with a clean fuel neck installation inside the bed itself. Smart thinking. At $25,000, considering today's market and the level of work that's gone into this build, including thousands of hours of restoration, it's actually quite reasonable. The owner mentions they've invested even more than the asking price, and I believe it. The only reason for selling is lack of indoor storage, which shows how much they care about preserving this beauty. 2. We're checking out this clean 1978 Ford pickup that just landed on Craigslist. And I've got to say, this one's pretty interesting. Let's dive right in. We're looking at a well-maintained classic Ford with just under 100K miles on the clock, powered by that reliable 5.0-liter V8 paired with an automatic transmission. What makes this truck stand out is its unique Linex treatment, both inside and out. That's right. The entire truck has been coated in Linex, which means this thing is practically bulletproof against scratches and rust. The black wheels wrapped in all-terrain tires give it a mean stance, and the practical additions like the tonneau cover make it still totally usable as a daily driver. They've modernized it a bit with a Bluetooth head unit, so you can stream your favorite tunes while cruising, and the AC is working, which is a huge plus for a truck of this age. At $15,000, you're getting a classic Ford that's been modified for durability rather than show. The Linex coating might not be everyone's cup of tea, but it's definitely unique and practical. The bench seat interior keeps things original, and that 5.0 engine is known for its reliability and easy maintenance. Honestly, if you're looking for a classic truck that you can actually use without worrying about every little scratch or ding, this could be your ticket. The clean title and relatively low mileage make it even more appealing. 3. We're diving into something really special. A 1972 Chevy C20 that's hiding some serious modern muscle under its classic skin. This isn't your grandpa's work truck anymore, folks. We're looking at a beautifully executed LS swap using a drivetrain from an 05 Tahoe. And let me tell you, that's a match made in heaven. The odometer shows just 19,256 miles, though that's likely since the build was completed. What really makes this truck unique is the combination of classic looks with modern performance. The seller's done it right with quality modifications throughout. We're talking LED lighting upgrades, custom gauges, and check this out, a hydraulic dump bed. That's not something you see every day on a custom build. The asking price of $19,750 actually seems pretty reasonable when you consider what you're getting. A turnkey LS-powered classic truck with modern reliability and serious performance. Coming from a private collection, it's clear this truck has been well maintained and properly stored. What I really appreciate about this build is that it's what we call a sleeper. It looks relatively stock from the outside, but packs a serious punch under the hood. The seller mentions it hauls ass and rides great, and with that LS power, I absolutely believe it. For anyone looking for a classic truck that combines show-worthy looks with modern drivability and a cool party trick, that hydraulic bed, this C20 checks all the boxes. The clean title is just the cherry on top. 4. We're looking at something really special on Craigslist, a 1966 Chevy El Camino with an incredible family history that you just don't find every day. What makes this El Camino truly unique is its story. This is a two-owner vehicle that's been in the same family since it rolled off the showroom floor. The current owner actually sat next to his dad when it was purchased new, and he's had it since 1973. That kind of history is absolutely priceless in the classic car world. Under the hood, there's a 327 cubic inch V8 that was swapped in during the mid-70s, replacing the original 283. But here's the cool part. The owner still has the original numbers matching 283 short block. That's huge for anyone interested in returning this beauty to factory specs. The car rocks a 3-speed manual with a column shift, which is just classic 60s cool. The paint isn't original. It was changed from ermine white to a bronze-brown color in the 70s, but it really suits the car's character. With 118,000 miles on the clock, this El Camino has been driven and enjoyed, but clearly well maintained. At $20,800, considering today's market and the complete history of the vehicle, plus having the original engine, this is actually quite reasonable. The condition is described as very good, and coming from such a long-term owner, you know you're getting the straight story. This isn't just a classic car, it's a piece of American automotive history with a documented story from day one. For someone looking for a genuine, honest El Camino with amazing provenance, this could be your chance. 5. We're looking at a really special piece of automotive history, a 1973 Chevrolet C20 that's only had 2 owners, and both of them are from the same family. Now, let me be straight with you folks. This isn't some fancy restored show truck, but what we have here is something arguably more valuable. A genuine family-owned C20 that's been in the same hands since it rolled off the dealer lot in '73. The current owner has had it for over 30 years, getting it from his dad in 1992, and that kind of history is pretty special. Under the hood, we've got the classic V8, paired with an automatic transmission. The odometer shows 130,000 miles, but is currently broken, so the actual mileage is unknown. Just being honest with you all here. At $10,000, you're looking at a fair price for a piece of American truck history that's been maintained by the same family for 50 years. The condition is listed as good, which is pretty impressive for a truck of this age that's actually been used as a truck should be. What I really love about this one is its authenticity. No fancy modifications or trendy upgrades. Just an honest working truck that's been part of one family's story for half a century. These are getting harder to find, especially with this kind of documented history. 6. We're checking out a sweet 1964 Ford F100 custom cab that's got some serious upgrades while keeping that classic charm we all love. This isn't your average '64 F100, folks. The owner has put some real thought into making this truck both show-worthy and actually drivable in today's world. Let's talk about what makes this one special. They've dropped in a newer 351M big block. And here's the cool part. It's running a Holley Sniper fuel injection system. That means modern reliability with classic muscle. The upgrades don't stop there. We're looking at a completely new wiring harness, which is huge for these old trucks. Fresh gauges, and they've converted it to front power disc brakes. That's a major safety upgrade right there. The dual exhaust with headers must make this thing sound absolutely killer. Inside, you're getting a redone interior and modern conveniences like a Bluetooth stereo, so you can cruise in style while streaming your favorite tunes. Those new chrome bumpers really set off the red paint nicely too. With just 2,200 miles showing, likely since the rebuild, and priced at $14,500, you're looking at a solid deal for a modernized classic that you can actually drive and enjoy. The seller mentions it runs very well and is dependable, and with those modern upgrades, I believe it. 7. We're looking at a real-time capsule, a 1977 Ford F-150 that's been sleeping in a garage for over 25 years, and I've got to be honest with you, this one's pretty special. Let's talk about what makes this truck interesting. It's rocking the massive 460 big block V8, which is a powerhouse engine, paired with a 3-speed automatic transmission. With only 56,119 original miles, this is incredibly low mileage for a truck of this age. And being garage kept for 25 years has clearly helped preserve it. Now let me be completely straight with you. This isn't a ready-to-roll vehicle. The seller's being upfront about some needs. It's going to need new tires, brake work, and some exhaust repairs. There's also a small rust spot above the windshield, but that's honestly minimal for a '77 Ford. The good news? The truck does run and drive, which is a great starting point. What really catches my attention is how original this long bed F-150 is, and it even has factory AC. Finding these trucks this original with such low miles and minimal rust is getting harder every day. At $18,500, you're paying for originality and potential here. Yes, you'll need to invest some money in those brakes, tires, and exhaust, but you're getting a largely unmolested example of a classic Ford truck with the desirable 460 engine. 8. We're diving into something really special. A 1977 K5 Blazer that's been built to absolutely rip. Let me tell you, this isn't your average K5. Under the hood sits a beast of a 383 stroker, pushing out 410 horsepower and 420 lb of torque. And get this, it comes with a 7-year 70,000-mile warranty. That's some serious peace of mind right there. The engine's paired with a 4L60E transmission featuring a Stage 2 shift kit and advanced adapter torque converter. This thing means business. The list of upgrades is seriously impressive, folks. We're talking a high-performance intake manifold, Holley carb, new timing chain, push rods, and the whole 9 yards. The suspension hasn't been forgotten either. It's got KYB Mono Max shocks, new leaf springs, and fresh axles front and rear. With only 2,000 miles on this build, everything is basically fresh. They've thought of everything. New brakes all around, rebuilt hubs, replaced drag links and pitman arm, and even added a slick chrome steering column with a wood finish wheel. The electric fuel pump and low-car throttle pedal assembly are nice modern touches too. At $24,000, considering all the professional work that's gone into this build, including machine shop work by D&H, you're getting a seriously capable K5 that's ready to rock. The brown paint gives it that perfect classic look while hiding all that modern muscle underneath. 9. We're looking at something really interesting, a 1946 Ford truck project that's begging for someone to bring it back to life. Let me be completely honest with you folks. This is a project truck in the truest sense. We're looking at a roller here, no engine, no transmission. But here's the good news. The sheet metal is described as nice, and most importantly, it's rust-free. Anyone who knows these old trucks understands that finding one without major rust issues is getting harder by the day. The short bed configuration is desirable, and the interior is reportedly in good condition, which is pretty remarkable for a 77-year-old truck. The chassis is stock, giving you a clean slate to work with, whether you're planning a period-correct restoration or a modern hot rod build. At $5,700, you're basically buying potential here. This is a blank canvas waiting for someone's vision, whether that's a traditional flathead build or maybe something more modern like an LS swap. The clean title is a big plus, making this a legitimate project opportunity. Just remember, folks, this isn't a running and driving vehicle. You're going to need to source an engine, transmission, and probably quite a few other parts to get this beauty back on the road. But with solid bones and good sheet metal, you're starting from a much better place than most project trucks of this era. 10. We're checking out a seriously cool 1968 Ford Ranchero that's been built right, and I've got to tell you, this one's got me excited. Let's be upfront about something. Yes, it has a salvage title from a theft back in 1996, long before the current owner. But don't let that scare you away, because what's been done to this car since then is impressive. Under the hood, we've got a rebuilt 390 FE big block that's been done up right with all the good stuff. Edelbrock Performer, RPM cam, aluminum intake, Holley Pro Series carb, full MSD ignition, and ceramic-coated headers. The engine rebuild was done in 2018 with about 30,000 miles on it now. The drivetrain is serious business. We're talking a 4-speed top-loader manual with a Hurst shifter, clutch replaced in 2021, feeding into a Ford 9-inch rear with Posey traction. They've even added a strange drive shaft. That's quality stuff, folks. The braking system got a major upgrade with Wilwood 4-piston brakes up front and rebuilt drums in the rear, all done in 2021. Modern amenities include a Bluetooth stereo, new Pro-Car bucket seats, and it's even a factory AC car, though it needs the under-hood components to be complete. At $14,000, even with the salvage title, you're getting a lot of well-thought-out performance upgrades. The owners clearly put serious money and consideration into making this ranchero both fast and reliable. With 147,000 miles on the clock, but most major components either rebuilt or replaced, this is a turnkey muscle car truck that's ready to rock. 11. We're looking at a 1975 Chevy K5 Blazer, and I'm going to be completely straight with you. This is a project truck that needs some serious love, but might be worth considering if you're up for the challenge. Let's start with the good stuff. It's got the classic 350 V8 paired with a TH 350 automatic transmission, and the owners already tackled the entire fuel system. We're talking new tank, lines, filler neck, pump, and carburetor. It's sitting on some nice centerline wheels with good tires, and it actually runs and drives, which is a huge plus for a project vehicle. Now let's be honest about the challenges. This Blazer has rust and rot issues, and the seller's upfront about it not being pretty. It's a half-convertible model, only the rear section removes, and with 73,306 miles on the clock, it's got some stories to tell. At $3,500 with a clean title and current non-op status, meaning no back fees to worry about, you're looking at an entry-level price point for a classic K5 Blazer project. These trucks have been climbing in value, so even in rough condition, there's potential here if you've got the skills and patience for a restoration. This isn't a weekend flip project. It's going to need significant work to get it back to its former glory. But if you're looking for an affordable way into K5 Blazer ownership and aren't afraid of some rust repair, this could be a starting point. 12. We're checking out something pretty unique. A 1985 GMC Jimmy that's packing some serious heat under the hood. Let me tell you what makes this one special. It's running a 454 big block. That's not something you see every day in these Jimmys, as most came with small blocks. The owners built this as a cruiser rather than a drag strip warrior, and honestly, that makes it even cooler in my book. Here's what you need to know. This is a rust-free Southern truck, which is huge for these, rocking a mild-cammed 454 automatic transmission with overdrive and a Ford 9-inch rear end. That's a serious drivetrain upgrade. The dual exhaust probably makes this thing sound amazing. Now let's be honest about a few things. The speedometer doesn't work, and there are a couple of rust bubbles starting to show. But here's the good news. The AC works. The owner mentioned it twice, so you know it's good. The heat works, and most other gauges are functional. The interior is nice, and the paint is still shiny. At $8,000, you're getting a lot of truck for the money. This is a two-door, two-wheel drive setup that's been well maintained and used exactly how you'd want, cruising to car shows and enjoying the ride. This is perfect for someone who wants a unique classic SUV with some serious power that's actually usable. The fact that it's been a regular at local cruise-ins tells you it's a reliable runner. 13. We're checking out a piece of American truck history, a 1964 Ford F-250 that's been kept running strong with some smart updates. This classic workhorse comes with 80,000 miles on the clock and packs a V8 paired with a manual transmission, just like these trucks should have. What's really interesting here is how the owner has maintained it with some key upgrades to keep it reliable. We're talking a new cam, fresh starter, new alternator, and they've added electronic ignition to make it more dependable than the original points system. The practical updates continue with new tires and a 6-month-old battery, so you won't have to worry about those basics for a while. The blue paint gives it that classic vintage truck look that we all love. At $8,500, you're looking at a solid price for a running and driving classic F-250. The owner's honest about their situation. They need something more highway-friendly, which makes sense as these old trucks aren't exactly built for modern interstate cruising. This would be perfect for someone who wants a classic truck they can actually use while still enjoying that vintage charm. It's not a show queen, but it's a genuine piece of Ford truck history that's been thoughtfully updated to keep it on the road. 14. We're looking at something pretty special, a 1969 Ford F-250 Camper Special. That's a genuine New Mexico survivor. Let me tell you why this truck is interesting. Being a New Mexico vehicle means we're dealing with a rust-free example, which is becoming increasingly rare for these old Fords. It's still wearing its original paint, which tells you a lot about how well preserved this truck is. Under the hood, you've got the robust 360 V8 paired with a 4-speed manual transmission. That's a great combination for these old workhorses. With 112,367 miles on the clock, this engine still has plenty of life left, especially considering these trucks were built to last. The Camper Special designation is pretty cool. These came with some beefed-up components to handle the extra weight of campers, making them more robust than standard F-250S. At $8,000, you're getting a solid piece of Ford truck history that hasn't been messed with or modified. This is a straight-up honest truck that survived the decades thanks to that dry New Mexico climate. Just remember, folks, the seller's firm on the price and isn't interested in trades. Cash only on this desert survivor. 15. We're checking out a 1972 Ford F-100 short bed that's got some interesting potential. Let's be completely honest here. This truck has its pros and cons. The good stuff first. We're looking at a clean title V8 with just 40,574 miles on the clock, paired with an automatic transmission. The interior's been freshened up with reupholstered seats, and the owner says it runs great. Plus, those short bed F-100S are always desirable. Now, let's talk about what needs attention. The seller's up front about rust in the bed, which is pretty common for these old Fords. It's something you'll want to check out in person to assess the extent of it. The good news is the tires are in good shape, and it's smog exempt with paid tags, so you won't have any immediate headaches there. At $14,500, or best offer, you're in the ballpark for these classic F-100S, especially if the mechanical side is as solid as described. The green paint gives it that perfect vintage truck look that never goes out of style. This could be a great opportunity for someone looking for a classic Ford truck that's ready to drive while you gradually address the bed rust issue. It's not perfect, but it's honest, and that's what we like to see in these old trucks. 16. We're checking out a seriously clean 1977 Chevy K10, and let me tell you, this square body has got the goods. First off, let's talk about what's under that cowl induction hood. We're looking at a fresh crate 350 engine. That's paired with the bulletproof TH400 transmission, which is arguably one of the best automatic transmissions ever put in a truck. With only 50,000 miles showing, this K10's just getting broken in. The owners clearly put some thought into making this truck both show-worthy and reliable. Check out this list of upgrades. New tires, fresh ignition components, upgraded AC, which is huge in these old trucks, power steering and power front disc brakes. The billet grille and chrome bumpers really set off that white paint nicely. Inside, they've restored the interior with houndstooth upholstery. That's a classic look that really fits the truck's character. And being a 4x4, this isn't just a pretty face, it's got the capability to back up those good looks. At $16,000, or best offer, you're looking at a fair price for a well-sorted square body with a new crate engine. These trucks have been climbing in value, especially ones that have been thoughtfully upgraded like this one. 17. We've got a real treat for you. A 1966 Chevy C10 that's up for grabs on Craigslist. This beauty is priced at $23,000, and let me tell you, it's got some serious cool factor going on. Now, the seller is upfront about the fact that this is an older restoration, and it's not perfect. But hey, that's part of the charm, right? This C10 has got a 400 small block Chevy engine under the hood, paired with a 400 turbo automatic transmission. It's also got a Camaro subframe and disc brakes up front, so you know it's ready to roll. Inside, you'll find new carpet and a sweet $1,200 stereo system. And check out those shaved door handles and door poppers. Talk about sleek. The dual exhaust is just the cherry on top. The seller admits they don't have any history on the motor or transmission, but they did just replace all the seals in the trans. And with those new BF tires and rims, this C10 is looking sharp. Now the seller is clear that they're just testing the waters with this listing. They're not interested in tire kickers, so if you're serious about making this C10 yours, you better act fast. It's located in Audubon, Minnesota, and the price is $23,000 or best offer. Overall, this 1966 Chevy C10 is a cool ride with some great features. It may not be perfect, but it's got a ton of potential. If you're in the market for a classic truck with some serious style, this could be the one for you. 18. We're diving into the world of classic trucks on Craigslist, and boy do we have a gem for you. Check out this 1981 Chevy K10, up for grabs at just $7,000. Now let's be real. This truck isn't in perfect condition. The seller is upfront about that, rating it as fair. But hey, that's part of the charm of owning a classic, right? The opportunity to put in some work and make it truly yours. Under the hood, you'll find a powerful 8-cylinder engine ready to tackle any terrain. And speaking of terrain, this baby is a 4x4, so you can take it off-road with confidence. The manual transmission adds to the old-school cool factor, giving you total control over your driving experience. The seller mentions that the odometer has rolled over, so the actual mileage is unknown. But they also note that they use the truck all the time, and it runs and drives well. That's a testament to the durability of these classic Chevys. Now let's talk about the areas that need some TLC. The floorboards, rocker panels, cab corners, and left front fender could all use some attention. But here's the good news. The seller is including all the metal you'll need to repair the cab, as well as some other square body parts. That's a huge bonus and will save you some serious cash in the long run. The truck is currently rocking a red paint job, which could be a great starting point for your own custom look. And with a clean title, you'll have no trouble making this K10 officially yours. 19. We're diving into the world of vintage pickups. And boy do we have a stunner. Feast your eyes on this gorgeous 1952 Dodge truck, currently up for grabs on Craigslist for $29,900. Now I know what you're thinking. That's a hefty price tag. But trust me, once you see what this beauty has to offer, you'll understand why it's worth every penny. The seller has rated the condition as excellent. And from the detailed description, it's clear that no expense was spared in bringing this classic back to life. Let's start with the paint. This truck is rocking a custom Mopar Inferno red crystal pearl base coat with a clear coat finish. It's not just a pretty color. The seller notes that the cab, bed, fenders, and running boards are all clean, straight, and made of metal. No cheap fiberglass or rusty patches here. Under the hood, you'll find a rebuilt Mopar 318 CID engine with 360 heads, an aluminum intake manifold, an Edelbrock 4 BBL carburetor, coated headers, and electronic ignition. This baby is ready to rumble. The transmission is a Mopar A904 TorqueFlite 3-speed automatic, paired with a Mopar 8 3/4 differential with a 3.23 1-gear ratio. All of this adds up to a truck that's built for cruising in style. The interior is just as impressive as the exterior. The bench seat is covered in gray vinyl and cloth with red piping, and the door and kick panels match. The headliner, rear window surround, and behind the seat are also done up in gray vinyl with red piping. The metal dash is painted to match the Inferno red exterior, and there's chrome front window interior trim, gray carpeting, and aftermarket gauges and stereo. 20. Get ready to feast your eyes on this absolutely stunning 1972 Chevy C10 stepside. This beauty is currently up for grabs on Craigslist for $29,000, and let me tell you, it's worth every penny. First off, let's talk about the history of this truck. It's a Georgia truck, which means it's got no rust on it. That's right, you heard me correctly. No rust. It's been living the good life in Minnesota for the past 3 years, stored indoors every winter, and never driven in the rain. Plus, it's titled as a collector vehicle in Minnesota, so you know it's been well taken care of. Now let's dive into the juicy details. This truck has only 3,200 miles on all of the following items, and the seller has receipts to prove it. The matte black paint job is absolutely stunning and gives the truck a sleek modern look. Under the hood, you'll find a rebuilt rear end with 373 gears and a turbo 350 3-speed transmission. And get this, it's got vintage AC that blows cold. Talk about the perfect combination of classic style and modern comfort. But wait, there's more. This truck has power steering, power brakes, and Dura-Lay dual electronic cooling fans with a variable speed controller. The interior is just as impressive as the exterior, with a black leather custom seat that provides a lower seating position, a Dakota digital gauge cluster, and a tilt steering wheel column. The interior is finished off with Alcantara and leather, And the seller has even added closed cell foam insulation to the floor, cab corners behind the seat, roof and doors for a quiet and comfortable ride.